thank Tori on Tori Says for an awesome, like always, an awesome show. She's just, and then, of course, I want to address a few other things, but thank you very much, Tori. It's just, I just like hearing your voice. It's pretty cool. It's, uh, it's gotten to be kind of like Lionel, on and off. It's almost like when I was a kid, I'd wake up to the smell of coffee and then the sound of news, you know, before things seem to go awry, even in and out. You notice how the house always had. Oh, pardon me, people. Let me try to stabilize this. Always had some news or something going, some mainstream yuck mouth because we don't brush. How's about a little kiss? That's why I say that. I'm not trying to. I just remember that when I was a kid. I don't know if it was what deal. I think it was some commercial. I don't know if it was Sesame Street or Electric Company or what. But thank you, Tori, and again, thank you, Mrs. L. Lynn for Lynn's Warriors, and I really just need to get, and it's gonna happen. Get on a situation where I've got people that are savvy enough to help me more secure myself so I can start to also uh, support these people more than just uh, in prayer, which is great. And, what I do just by giving a little shout out and stuff. But yeah, no, I'd like to, man, if I could, give them a hug. If they're not huggers, at least shake their hand or at least say hi or something. So, uh, but thanks, Tori. Oh, and also, and I might have been reading this wrong, but when your faith was shaken, a little rattled yesterday, I was thinking to myself, and I didn't say anything. I was like, well, yeah, yesterday, yes, we'll just say today is, I believe it's Tuesday now, is gone with the wind. It's a new day, and really, like I said, I'm on my fifth second chance now. Stumbling I do today, far and few, and only because, like I said, I seek the wisdom and just accept that truth, that character that we were created with right to begin with. Just start fitting right into our real selves. Start realizing, just like she said today, Tori said, yeah. Once you realize what's really going on, your heavenly Father. You just have those little 10 little rules, and it's a personal thing, but of course we agree on at least 9 of them. The fourth one, I guess, is a personal thing, and it is like every other one. I mean, you can choose to break all 10 of them. But back to the point before I get off track, and I'm really going to concentrate on trying to stay on because there's so much, and I want to try to go somewhere today because I've got a little bit of time, and it's been a little. So yeah. Tori was saying that. What was I just saying? See, because I just did that. I went off course, and it'll come back. But don't stress, you guys. Don't stress. Don't. Oh yeah, when you realize you, that's 10. Thank you, Father. Oh, thank you, because I got to just stay focused on when you stay within those 10, when you come into that realization, then you can start your writing history. Within those 10, man, you've got free reign because you start to realize, wait a minute, I really do own all this stuff. This really is all mine. These people really have no power over me at all. And look what they say in the chat too. Not to get look at the stupid stuff. And I don't even. I watch the stuff I'm led to watch. I could sit and read all that garbage. It wouldn't bother me because I know what I know. Now there was a time I might have, and I would have fired off like I had before. But you notice how even it's losing its, like when someone says, "Wow," or "OMG," or whatever. That's then they'll just throw in just those little cheap shots, just those filler ones, kind of like the F word that's real. Well, it's all just poorly inserted, but there's some that can kind of craft real like a surgeon just weave that F word right in there, and it almost sounds pretty dang good, like the old lady that got her grandson whacked him whacked him real good. No, no, Mickey wasn't having that one. So within those 10, you really are kind of rewriting history in a way. In a sense, you're becoming that. And so if you just keep that, you don't want to get too fleshly prideful or egotistical. It's not about that, because that's what got Lucifer in his little pickle that now, has gotten him to chase his tail, you know, old Puff. And then it's just a mess from there. But within that 10, it seems like we've got pretty well free reign. And the canvas really can do miracles. It's just a beautiful thing, people. It really is. So yeah, so no stress. And still praying about, the nephew, the uncle of the young lad that's the boy, I believe, that's the epileptic. If I even remember that, but it just came to my mind. So, and I pray specifically for certain things. Some days for certain things are like on my mind. Just like Lynn, I'd forgotten all about her. I thought I'd forgotten about her, and all of a sudden, it came to me the other day. That's why I mentioned her from Diamond and Silk, because she's always just. The Lord just showed me, hey, look at how cheerful. She's probably not even really that, but still so hospital, so kind and welcoming that. If you're having a real bad day, just even being around that, if that's all you got at the time, it's just because it's genuine, it's and you're starting to see really what's genuine, you know, and it's really refreshing because so much crap out there, people, but it's nice, to know what you know. I might as well just throw that in there. I was on a roll, you know. But yeah. So, and then that was really good. Now I might be reading this wrong. Um, I might be reading this, and it happens. It really is fun. Just like I said, that I'm not a genie in a bottle. And here's the thing: I I have to myself I find myself just really weeping and humbling myself, crying out, just asking God to just continue to examine me, so that there's anything that would ever lead me to cause, you guys any mistrust or just harm or just anything that would keep you from Him. That please, and myself, and just in any of my encounters, that at every day I cry out, please examine my heart. Today I heard the Lord chuckle. I mean, I was wailing out. it's hard to find places when you've had it. Just like I said, there's just a room that far exceeds the former of the tears that we haven't been able to express. And whew, so when you get an opportunity, and then today, and I'm not really like a crybaby, but boy, since I've been commissioned for this, and in this whole situation here, this beautiful little this wow, I can't believe it. It still blows me away sometimes about wow what the Lord's doing. It's and just who He's using. It's like, don't think for a minute that that I'm not. Oh yeah, I've tried so many times, ways, fashions, and in situations to get out from away from underneath, from even just I didn't want anything to do with this. Not like this. I did, and then I did, but I not this much. I did. But now I do. So I was wailing out, and I'm just so thankful and asking God to examine me every single day, because I'm not. The more He's given me, the more I realize my responsibilities, and I'm not trying to. I already know I am not trying to do, say, think any dang thing that's gonna get me in hot water. Because as drinking as much tea as I do, I know what that hot water does, and it's sweet to some and bitter, and it's so anyway. Oh, and I wanted to say, and like I said, I could be reading this wrong, but that song's been playing, and is that going to be our new song? That really is a really really lovely song. And I know, people get into their, but we forgive them for they know not what they do, because there's some that aren't really evil. They're not wicked. They just have dove into some evil stuff, stickily, as it were, that Hollywoodish kind of. And they dibble around, kind of like I did with the Ouija board, and I'll end up getting to some of that, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. That was when I was in county, and then Walla Walla. But um, if I do say so myself, you and that being, because that's all I've been hearing. That's really a good tune. It is. And there it was. The Lord, He said, "Here you go." And like I said, when I put that music in, sometimes I just do it so other people will listen to it with me. But it's sometimes to just tune out, because you know, I'm out here in that forest now since that windstorm. You should have seen all the elk that I seen the other day. They're out of season now. I'm pregnant, so I wouldn't shoot them, but they can't even walk around. Excuse me, pardon me. They can't even walk around without crash bang, because everything's falling over out there. It's not even really safe, because there's widow makers out there that's all hung up in trees and stuff like that. And you get another windstorm comes through, a little one, even enough to push that stuff down. My point is saying all that is that, so I'm try to tune out in a way, and kind of, I read my Bible, and I do a lot of praying. And most days are better than others, because the Lord, what He's doing is He's using me, because I'm willing to be used. I'm also doing a lot of good service here for my children, my young adult children, and grandchildren. And otherwise, I'd just be somewhere else. I just would. And then plus, they, like I said, they're a blessing also. Their financial assistance is a blessing until I get really moving, and then the Lord He'll start, balancing out all the accounts, and money's not going to be an issue. It's like old Trey said, he's right, all right. Yeah, that gold, the gold fringe, all that gold is being taken. Because guess what? Guess what, people? Lord just showed me something, and He wants you to know this. They can't take that gold anywhere. It's not leaving Earth. Get it? It's not going anywhere, people. Except back to us. Think about it. What are they going to do? Flush it down the toilet? like the old drug dealers. What do you think they're going to flush some crack down the toilet, or some heroin, or it's like a wedding ring. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to burn it? You throw it away? Well, it's even after all that heap of that pile biodegrades there, that gold will be right there. Same with that silver. All of it. All of it. It's going to be right there. So, I really think that's it. Just like I don't know about the blotting out, I don't know about the I don't know about the age of accountability. I don't know at what point the Holy Spirit gets quenched out. I just know for this for sure, people. Once saved, always saved is not. That's not real. That's not real. The the rapture, not gonna happen. That's not real either. That's a fallacy. People aren't in heaven or hell like they teach. That's not. There are a few here and there, for the illustration of just because it's there and for whatever reason. But that's not important. But it's not like people are there now. They're in sleeping. That I know for certain. I also know there really is a cosmic battle going on. But I'm getting off track. So yes, if I do say so myself, and you did, and I'll take it. I might not like it. I because no, of course you're not, no damn pizza. That's not, has nothing to do with that. Do you think I just ordered a pizza 3 4 years ago and just patiently just gonna wait? I would have slapped the shit out of that damn driver long time ago. Are you serious? 3 years to get so, and it's not like nobody didn't know. And I'm not mad. I mean, I'm angry, but I'm not mad. That little clown on mad. I'm not. No, that's not. That's not what long suffering's all about. I truly am not. I wouldn't be in this position if I was. You already know, and I know some of the stuff that you guys do, and I know and I don't even want to know sometimes, but the Lord has me know. You know, do you know what we're all becoming, people? When He said I and you and me, He meant you too. Which I'm going to bring up some stuff about you two here pretty soon, also, because that video where they're at that airport. Oh man, I got a story for you. I got so many stories that I've already brushed way over because I have had to. Like I said, I can do a book just on one chapter of all the chapters because it was about 100,000 words is what lighting of the lamps was, close to about 100. I think it was 70,000 when it was all, when he got done taking out some of the stuff. Um, but I had to leave. I just, and because I'd forgotten stuff. Like I said, that's what I've been emphasizing. It's amazing. Just some of this stuff is amazing. Just like this, and you did, just like this, you did say so yourself, and you did. It's exactly what. That's what you did. And I could be completely wrong, but the Lord had me realize that if you do, remember, dude, I do. Do you remember? Do it just means so much. I do. That's forever, and I mean forever is a long, long time. It's a big farm. It's a lot of rings. It's a lot of ring. That's a ringing out. That's a ring a ding ding. Boy, eternity. What? It's a beautiful thing if you really, and you will. You'll see. We're all going to see, and just as long as you finish the race, you're going to have that prize. I just want to, like I said, I believe, like I said, I already got the answer. All right. Otherwise, it's just, gosh, I don't, and I have to be fair because not everybody handles stuff in, the same way. They don't handle, and that's why it's so important for people, the children, to go to school, not to be taught that crap, but to learn how to deal with themselves on themselves basis, not without no adult intervention, because children need to be children and not have us reading them stories in the library, old Norman and prancing in like Nancy Fancy Pants. Oh God, I'm telling you right now, if I would have, oh, I'm forgiving, yes. Do I love? Yes. But man, that would have worked me good, man, because I'd seen things and I couldn't believe that would have happened that way. And then when he told me that, I still didn't really believe it until and thank God, because that would have really, that would have fried my little mainframe there. That'd have been it. But anyway, so yeah, if I'm reading that right, dang it. Sorry guys, I'm trying to steady this. Like I said, I'm trying to get a. I'm trying. Listen to me. I'm sitting here whining like just a big old baby, or a little big old baby, whining nevertheless. So that's pretty good though. I'll take it. I'll take it. My phone's not ringing. 253-441-6171. My phone's not ringing. I haven't got a letter yet. 30114 Orville Road East, Space 1, Graham, Washington, 98338. And I haven't got a letter yet, but let's see. Tomorrow it'll be, yep, 20th tomorrow. I see better without these dang things that far away. But in all fairness, if I was looking like this, I could almost see the same. So in some ways, they did have part of these right. But like I said, it don't matter. It does matter, but it doesn't. You can just kick rocks, and I'll still love you the same, the same. Love you the same. Be doing the same. I'm just, the only difference is I'll just be. She'll be rolling in. We'll be. Uh, we'll be. We'll have a. We'll have. We'll have my wife that will be part of the program. But I believe that's you. So. But yeah, so that was pretty good. If I do say so myself, I'm almost thinking that's going to be our new song. Man, that's a really good tune. Do you know that they've had? Do you know? I wasn't going to mention this, but I just brought this. Shane Santic in Des Moines. Not only was there a creek that ran down into Saltwater Park, that all that fish and all that beautiful seafood and everything we got off that beach, and had so much fun in the parks, and I mean up in the cliffs and all the everything. It was amazing. There was another creek that went by right down into the Sound, into the, matter of fact, by Anthony's home port, right underneath an apartment. And me and my friend Shane Sanick, uh, right right before my Fred died, we'd take this rubber raft and we would float it down into the Sound from his house right off 14th, kind of by the college. And just things were way different in Des Moines then. It was pretty way, it was a lot more woodsy and a lot of wildlife, a lot of, it was really nice. It was a nice little place. And then I found out years later that it was one of the fastest growing little cities in in the state of Washington. I think maybe in America. I I don't know. One of the two. And I believe it too because this place is just overloaded. But now I went, like I said, I went down not long ago go to the marina, and you can't even get. It looks like, honestly, it looks like the military or some kind of like, you know, something's going on. Everything's it don't seem right. All the concrete blockades and the fences up and stuff. It's weird why people are being restricted from that part of the sound. I don't understand that, but I could see the docks and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, they're me and Shane. He actually got me into Fleetwood Mac and I had no idea who they were, and there was a poster on his wall, and I'm like, "Who's that?" And he goes, "Oh, you want to hear it? You want to hear who that is?" And I'm like, "Well, sure." And his sister had a really really nice. I think it was a Kenwood back then. Of course, the Kenwood was pretty nice for so anyway, I was listening to Fleetwood Mac for the first time, and I was like, wow, this beats out because like I said, I think my one of my first albums was We Sold Our Souls. um uh Run Like the Wind was another one. Christopher Cross. Kiss, I think, a couple Kiss, but and then the tape was Unleashed in the East. So this was just kind of refreshing, and of course, and then the radio. We had KZOK and the rock, KISW, Seattle's best rock. Like I said, uh, everybody wore to Martin's funeral when he used to always say at all them parties when his mom was like, I didn't know he had all these friends. And I was like, yeah, well, it's because, Ma, you didn't know about all the parties because he had no, and the neighbors, the one neighbor was around was, like I said, was the meth dealer, Norm Cook. Nice guy, but son married to my my cousin Tammy that was adopted out a long time ago. So that was just crazy right there. So there was no neighbors to. So yeah, those rock shirts, still those things. If I find them, I'll pick them up and then pass them along, enjoy it for a minute, and then pass them along to somebody that, just like the old prison garb. I would never keep any of that around. Now they don't even let you take it. Now if you have no clothes, because if you're leaving, then they just got stuff that's the hand me downs. They have the church donate, but yeah. So we used to float that river. He got me into Fleetwood Mac. So that might be our new song. That's pretty dang that's pretty dang cool. If I read that right, I was like, and it just keeps playing in my head. I said, Father, I know, because I haven't played it enough for it to get, how sometimes if you, at least this is the way it works for me, if you've been drinking really heavy and you get a little overzealous and you play a song so much that it becomes hardwired into your mind, and you wake up the next day, at least this is works for me. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but that damn song is playing in your head like a reel to reel. It's going for it. And you're like, what is happening? So, and then things start to slowly piece together. Chow time, and you're like, how did I get here? No, I'm just joshing. I'm just bearing you. Big bearing you. I love the dude. Don't get me wrong, man. Should I went to Pike Place Market, had a good time before I went to that show. Ended up really having a good time. We weren't together or anything like that, but I ended up You wanted to, I guess make believe, you know, dress, play dress up, but I'm not. I got it. I understand what's going on. I'm not trying to be an ass, but I know. And later on I'll explain what I'm talking about. Sometimes you got to eat crow. You got to grab the damn garlic, and you just got to go for it. And that's metaphorically speaking, kind of like the wolf, like the white wolf. You know, sometimes you got to feed. It says you feed both of them. There's the metaphor where there's also the side where you feed both the wolves. Well, no, I will only feed the white wolf metaphorically, never both of the wolves. But if that's what you need to help you to for the people that have a hard time believing in a quote higher power, and I mean, I've heard people say, well, that doorknob, well, that doorknob didn't create and give you the breath of life. So you have to kind of be careful with that. Although people do have their own they do have their own opinions and rights to them, and that's what love is. It's respect. Respect is love, and respect is giving people free will and a choice, no matter what the consequences are. Otherwise, believe me, he could have created a bunch of drones that just and just like a bunch of because that's really honestly that's exactly what free will is, wanting someone to want you because they truly love you, because along the journey they fall truly in love with you, and you know it, you feel it, your heart will just it'll just I do say so myself. You'll feel it, and it'll be like nothing else. It'll be like it's always known you. When it touches you, you'll smell it, you'll feel it, you'll taste it, you'll hear it, you'll sing it, you'll start to become it. And you'll be like, once you and your partner, once you become exactly what the Lord has intended for you, for him, for each other, for eternity, once that happens, it's never going to be the same. It's going to be like the first time. That's why I play that, not because it's I'm not trying to be sinful or all that. In some of them videos, I'm like, oh Lord, this is kind of a little racy. This is not the message I'm trying to give. And he said, relax, son. We're in a different time right now. They got y'all cooped up in here, and we're trying to win some souls. Remember, this was well, I'm not going to say that, but he almost said, look at this. This was your idea, but it was just a joke. See, our Father has a sense of humor. Don't think he doesn't. He created us in his image. Oh, people, if you only, you will. You're going to see. I get so excited, man. That's why I say that. I've been saying that for years now. But there's just not that many people that have been here. And is anybody listening? Well, I don't really like that. Well, I don't really like that either. I like Great White Buffalo. I love the concept. I love him. I love Charmaine. I believe that's her name. Just like Michaela, who I've been led to really pray for, Mr. and Mrs. Hall's daughter, who I thought was absolutely very brave, to not just brave, but it was she was courageous, and you know and she helped a lot of people, their daughters standing there like that, and she was able to, we were able to pray for her and over her and for their family, and what a blessed thing, you know. You never would know. I wouldn't have known, really, unless you shared his testimony about that they would have even kind of a normal life in the way of having just regular issues and stuff. You wouldn't know, because what the Lord is doing in their lives, it's just amazing. When you see the light of truth shine, people start to really become who they were created to be. Oh, remember, be still and know I am God. And I had to literally just break it down because I couldn't be anything. But the Lord said that's so that you could be, so that you could help someone else that wasn't able to also become anything, because the identity, my character, what I was trying to achieve through creating you beautiful creatures of habit, disobedience, but whom he loves so dearly. Like I said, I'd be the first one to tell you, yeah, this little Christ-like thing, this is really it's a cute thing. No harm, no foul, great, but it's all just a bunch of crap, just like all the no, what's a bunch of crap is all that religious shit that they're all having you heap up on the offering plate so they can burn them lights and their jet fuel and all that crap and all the stuff that you don't even want me to mention that's going on. They're all involved. They're all involved. It's all, this thing has got tentacles in every dirty little crevice. But what's happening is it's all being, the doors are being shut, and it's just like Medusa, just whoosh, snip, 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 snip. And it's all happening. You know what's happening? It's an all personal mirror. That's what it is. Make that change. It's that little personal mirror. And pretty soon, the Heavenly Father's going to be wanting to take a little look and see if he can see himself in that mirror. See, that's the same mirror that's putting out Medusa right now. That's really what this is. It's a love story. It's a love story, just like David and Goliath, and he had to lop it off. He had to do a bear and I think a lion. Yeah, here we call them cougars, mountain lions. They're big. Like I said, she's got to be 250 pounds. Maybe not, but boy, that was a deep print. That bear down there, he's got to be 300 pounds, 280 pounds, 300 pounder. But yeah, no, people, it's been a real joy to be here. Just right here to come back full circle. I'd tell you, yeah, it's a nice thing, but this is real. I've seen stuff now that and now, after all these, the enemy can't do this, people. You know that. It's losing so bad that it's because of all the trust that's being gained in the faith that you're exercising and all the prayers you're crying out to our Heavenly Father, our Creator. He's like, oh, so you want to go ahead and exercise a little faith, do you? You want to go ahead and give an account for the hope that's found in you? You want to go ahead and spark a little, huh? Little sparky? You want to light someone else's little lamp there that now is filled up with oil, the spirit of truth, and now it's glowing, and now someone else. You want to talk about a pay it forward payday bar? Whoo, that's one I'd be munching on for a while. I like peanuts and caramel anyway, but I make my own stuff. Oh yeah, peanut brittle. We had Laffy Taffy. Anything you can think of, we could create. Like I said, I think that the bit of honey, not to get off track, the bit of honey in the stores and stuff, I mean, I'm sure it's cooked down to softball stage, um uh corn syrup and sugar and whatnot. But when we made it, I believe and I'd have to look up the ingredients. I could just Google it real quick, but I think that's what all it was. It was powdered sugar, honey, and then we ground the peanuts. We because it was for cancer patients. And but anyway, I don't want to get, because then I'll end up having to explain the whole thing, and then I'll go into a whole little damn tutorial on the thing, and I'm not supposed to be doing that right now. So yeah, if I do say so myself, it's all I've been hearing. Now I haven't heard it for a little while, but I'd heard it, and it was beautiful, and it's got it's got its own little jingle. You notice that? So a lot of people are, I'm not interested in what these fools are saying. I'm not interested. I'm not, people. You know it. If you knew what I'm looking at right now, it ain't what these fools are looking at when they're doing these things, when they're praising their God. I'm looking at what's ours, people, what we own. You know it. They're trying to keep us from embracing and moving mountains. You see that mountain? You see that shadow that was on there a while back? That thing moved. That's right. That thing moved in a way that you would not believe. Both that and the sun backwards. Yeah, he he's not gonna be mocked. And when I mean he, I mean as far as as far as we way we can conceive it is humanity. He. Oh yeah, there's a God. All right, I'd be the first one to tell you, especially after this. No, no, but we need to stick together, brother. We need to do this. You can't do that. You can't make this stuff up. They can't even. They could get all these little twisted sisters together, and when I say that, I mean all the. They can get all their little scientists and their alchemists and all their little sorcerers and their little pharmakias and all their little witches and warlocks and everything and all their edit everything, their producers and filmmakers and their Zeisses and their Stephen King, all of them. They can get all of them. They're all of it, and they can't even come close to doing what we've been doing and what we've really been rocking and rolling for the last 5 years. We've been really rocking and rolling. Been really moving a lot of mountains, people. Lot of soil being moved. Yeah, that stuff only magma. It's only certain spots. That's why down in, yeah, you can get as cold as, I think they've only been like 8 mile, something like that. Nothing to see there. You notice you're not hearing much about a lot of people. It's just they're just kind of clamming up. So anyway, yeah, that's it, man. That's it. That was a beautiful thing. If I was reading that correctly, and like I said, I don't want to read into um too much too fast, too little too late to ever try again. Remember that song? I haven't ever played that song for you guys. I'm sure of it. Oh man, Daddy had a flea in his ear. No, really, it was a little water. I just got out of the rub a dub tub. Um, and that song was playing in my head, just playing in my head. And I thought, you know what? The baby's asleep. My grandson, he ain't been going to daycare. Mom still has, she's healing. She hasn't been back to work, understandably enough. So I've been trying to help out a little, doing my regular stuff, be quiet, and get the baby a bottle made so she doesn't have to get up. My daughter Cecilia, and yeah, it kind of angers me a little bit that the dad's around when he's knocking her up, and then just for a second, it's like a hit and run, and then he was there, which is a blessing for the. But I haven't seen him once here at all. Here, uh, I think they dropped him off there. Yeah, they dropped the kids off there for a minute when she went to Tawana. My ex, the grandmother, went shopping, but it angers me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, and I prayed, but oh man, it's just what a I don't know. But things can change, in a New York minute, I suppose, but it's not going to happen in a 6 inches. Like I said, Tori, I was like 6 inches. I know that 6 inches is this long for sure. I know that. So from there to here, and then from here to here, Tori, that's 12 inches almost. But I said she must have been talking about something else or just mistaken. But I'm not going to read into it. I don't know why I brought that up. But so, yeah, I pray about it if y'all want. Yeah, that'd be great if you guys can. Because she's such a good girl. She shouldn't be. Uh, she should almost be going, come on, come on, brother. Why don't you turn to the toy section? Almost. And so I know I'm partly to blame, you know, and not to wallow in my own guilt. It was just a lack of education. That's really what it was, is, and hopefully will never be. Why this testimony? Somebody will put the brakes on their own, you know, what I've dubbed just psychosis, because that's what we. So, but yeah, what a beautiful little girl. Yeah, I had no idea what she was going to name her. I had no clue. I heard her name milling around a few names, but I didn't know. I didn't have any. We're close, but not apparently not that close. Well, maybe closer than I think, because I don't know. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, baby. If I do say so myself, that's pretty nifty. If I'm reading that correct, that's pretty good. Wow, that's pretty darn good right there. Of course, this happens all day, every day, but this is another one of the Chenga pieces being systematically systematically excluded from the equation. The old Einstein. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Just listen to his story. He told you. He told you right there from the beginning, damn it. It was all in the song. It was all in that damn song, No More Tears. Now you know. Oh, that old fat ass. I'm not trying to be, because I myself am pretty damn chunky. I can blow up like a little walrus. You've seen me. Oh, yeah. Could happen any minute, so I'm not one to mock or make fun. But they just. And then I, the people the tickets they punched. Oh, it's gonna be a bumpy ride, all right, but it got spun right around on all of them. It took them all. The first time around, and then I told him I was right in the lobby and I was waiting for him. I was waiting for old Axel to come pick me up or somebody. All right, and I went out there. There was about 4 or 5 of them in these white SUVs, all standing there. Well, one of them was, I believe, and a couple of them were in their vehicle. Is like little ex wannabe military something. I don't know what they thought who they were, but obviously not no battle for old Michael and Gabriel and Nathaniel and Raphael and shit. How many other more can we? I don't know. I'm just now I'm talking now shiitakes coming out, and those are mushrooms, morels. We have a bunch of stuff. Oh, they're good eating. Oh, phew. We get little kiddie pools full of mushrooms. You go out, you get little, so you don't bruise them. You go out and get little buckets full, and then come back and dump them in the kiddie pool in the back of the truck. Get a few of them, take them down to the Pike place, and then Asians used to pay big dollar, top dollar for them, and then they'd sell them for a lot of money. But people come to that Pike place, especially when they come up off them cruise ships and stuff and want some fresh mushrooms. You're just people that that live in the high rises and the the Fraser the Frasers of the Seattle skyline. Pike Place Market used to be really fun. That's where I got old Owen's deal with the bear thing. It was when I told him that it was I cheated. I didn't draw it. I wasn't kidding. It was a local artist though that did that. I bought for him when I went to his show in Bellevue. I think it was Beauty in the Belly of the Beast that was there also. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. What's the other thing I wanted to bring up? Yeah, like I said, within them 10 rules, we are the rewriting of history. We are that brush, and some of us are the canvas. It just depends. Different parts, the same old big tapestry, big old loom, and we're just being woven in, huh, sweetie? No matter what your decision might be, or our decision, doesn't matter. Still, we're gonna do this. Um, yeah, White Wolf. Yeah, I would choose to just do what I'm doing. But if you got to use that metaphor to feed both wolves, fine. And I sent that just because it was a metaphor. And if you remember correctly, I shared that unbeknownst that was going to happen. This happens all the time. Of course, I'm not. A lot of you guys are still. Some of you people are still. Dan, I'm still writing stuff down. Are you serious, man? I can't even keep up with this. I'm feverishly going. Somebody come up, pat my head, give me another one. Gargoyle, more food. Been here for days, still writing stuff down. After a while, you'll just go, all right, God, and you'll just go, Father. He'll cry out, and all of a sudden, all that'll go out. He'll cleaning process. You'll keep it in order. You might trip up along the way. Just try to, like I said, go and sin no more. When she did, she didn't have to make that same mistake again. Now she might have tripped up here and there on some other issues, but I guarantee she wasn't laying down for anybody like that. Not after that. Not after what she's seen. What was wrong? Not after all that. What they seen, they were like, "Oh my gosh, I thought I was the only." Yeah. Mm-mm. So, but mostly they were kind of surprised at just looking at each other and what was going on, and how the fact that this man knew and nobody knew, and the same sin that they were committing, they were about to stone. It's so simple, people. It's so simple. But you got all these scholars and all these people that want to tell you their own opinion. They want to regurgitate what they've been taught, and they spent a lot of time and money just on that little yellow freak. You see why she's with their mom back then? It's all comes from over there. They're all experiments. Just like who and the other what. They're all it's all to defile, deface, and defame and mock our creator, and to try to convert the masses into just completely, if not just outright killing you, destroying your sanity, and changing your DNA, and your conscience, to the point where you're no you don't even have you've been seared to the point where you're not even repenting for anything, and you're okay with the condition everything is unfolding down around you, and just obliviously just just being molded right into the very thing that's mocking you. And and when it all gets reduced down to, that's why I said before I got render, I've already rendered, and I'm doing it again. And I know you might think, "Oh no, you don't." You're. What do you? I could honestly. I'm just gonna. This is just how it is. I could be really mean, but I'm not. I'm not like that because I'm not mean. I'm very forgiving, and that's why the Lord has allowed me to express myself and and express Himself through me. It's not it's not something that I just, go pull out of the mailbox every day. It's written on the tablet of my heart, and it's a labor of love, you people. So, but I could be real, because I can get that way too. I can feel sorry for myself, and then turn around and lash out at you and say, well, I'm not this, or I'm not that. You see, I'm trying to even be nice right now. Or who do you what do you think I am, or who do you think I am, or whatever. Well, then, okay, then just say so. Didn't say so, then just say, all right, then kick rocks. You see what I mean? So, no, you knew a long time ago. Yes, okay, fine. Maybe you didn't get all of those. That's cool. But Fat Boy, he knew, and he's paying. And I'm gonna say something about him anyway. And I got to be careful because I'll get myself upset. And I'm still a peaceful person, but that doesn't mean that anger doesn't have its that wrath isn't gonna find its home. That mark, that arrow, oh, it's gonna find its mark. It's already, and it knows, and it's like, oh God, just shut him up and stop him from talking, because faith come by hearing, and this we're losing it, people, because all you people are praying, and you're not just praying, you are praying with a fervent heart, and you're crying out, and you mean what you're saying. You actually mean what you're saying. You're looking around, you're seeing the condition everything's in, and you're not liking it, and you're realizing, listen, there's a change that needs to be made, and you are that change, and you're making it. You see, and you've won. Just because you've made that change right here, right now, you're never going to lose. Don't think that it doesn't matter what's going on around you. Don't worry, you're never going to lose. I'm going to tell you right now, I'd forfeit my reservation to salvation, to eternity, if I utter one foul lie that's going to cause you to forfeit your gift to eternity. If I'm even in any way will cause you to just not trust what it is I've been led to say. Put your faith in the one that's writing the love letter. I'm just passing mail. But I pray every day that He examines me, that I don't say anything or do or think or intend or am motivated by any greed, fear, pride, ego, monetary gain. Oh, people, that you would examine my heart every second of every day. And as I cry out, I know you guys are crying out too, and we are increasing. And the volume and the just the sweet, and I'll just keep saying it. It's just it's so refreshing, and it's a relief to our heavenly Father. Oh, he's got this in the bag. Don't think he don't. Oh, but he wants to fill that banquet feast, see, because he loves, and he created all of us in his own image, and he's trying to say, all right, you sucker, you see who we have down here doing what? We're going to keep this rolling. We're going to keep it rolling for a little while longer, because look what my beloved creation, my men and women, look what they're doing. look what humanity's doing. Okay, all right, you guys want to go ahead? All right, okay, fine. So those Changa pieces, they're being pulled. I see the sun on that tree right now. It's so beautiful. And it's not even that tree I'm looking at. It is a complete different place. If you could, you know what? I should just show you. I should just turn that camera around, but I don't want to have to sit and fiddle with that because it can be a mess. I'm gonna soon show you. I got a big, beautiful cedar, that one I was telling you about that I see the park that's down below, across probably the 250, maybe 250 yards, maybe. And then I've got those huge Douglas fir, or sequoia, something big, five big pines here that I'm just, praise the good Lord that they haven't come through the house. Um, like I said, I came out of here like a one-legged cricket. You wouldn't have, you would guys would you like I said, I got, well, God, I should show you this too. This thing is gnarly. You should see how this is, man. Oh God, I have changed my ways. Now I get these legitimately from scooting across the floor when there's a storm instead of, but oh, my wife, my beloved wife. So, but what I'm seeing is so beautiful. It's the sun, and it's not even what I'm seeing. It's something else. The he's letting me see what's he's letting me see her the way he sees her in her original dominion. It's amazing. That's how I was able to see Millie that way. That's how I was able to look. I was able to look. I mean, she was, always beautiful. But like I said, I've seen her before. I was led to watch Alex. I didn't even know why. And I thought, well, this guy is really damn entertaining. This guy is something else. Yeah, there it is. Chimes right on in. But no, it was for a whole nother thing. Lord says, son, I have some things for you to do. When I said I'm just a little guy with a big task ahead of me, I didn't understand how those words that had no form to me, they had no meaning, would later come into fruition. Just like these dreams. She beautiful. Oh, Nancy. And Solon. I didn't even try that. That just happened. Beautiful butterfly, the even flow. It's very simple, people. Simple. It's simple, a lot more simple than we make it out to be. We don't have to have all the answers because we're getting them. We are becoming all of them. And whatever ones, all the books are going to be open, which are us, and whatever angelic books there are. We don't even need to know which ones those are because we already know we're going to know everything. Isn't that nice? When you really know that you people, oh my goodness, wait till you see the feast we are fixing to have. My mouth is watering. You think I'm kidding? All these senses. This is just that we're getting new bodies. We're gonna have all this stuff again. Oh, don't think we're not. It's just we're gonna take on incorruptibility. We're gonna be clothed in incorruptibility. There's gonna be no more death. Plenty of love. No more death. And you're going to be able to, your senses are going to be heightened like you would not believe. You think you can taste now. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, man. Oh, yes. Sweet tea. Sweet tea. People. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, Lord. Thank you, Father. And counting. And no, people, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We didn't get fooled. It it knows that. It's the ones that know what they're doing ain't right and stay in it. Those are the ones that get fooled. And those are the ones that those are the ones where there's no hope. Because hope really does float anywhere where you have faith. But that comes with wisdom and opening up the word, and even just the most simplistic, even from the most secular, and I'm talking people that I would never endorse, but the Lord has used to help me along the way, because there was some things that, even because it says even the evil one, it knows how to give good things to its children, its kids. So as you know, they're filling up these auditoriums and stuff with all this gobbledygook, they're still able to, if someone's heart is literally seeking the truth and their heart is circumcised. That's why that's got no more the we're not under that law. And supple, and they will receive. The Lord will have that babbling ass idiot, or you know, clown mouth muck and mire, to say something that's going to just really sound and look good, and it'll just even start writing books and stuff like that. So not, book O Club would cover them if they were like a million little pieces, until, oh boy, that's something. Plagiarized years later. And like I said, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because now I just went and skipped way forward. Yeah. Yeah, that plane, when it did a loop de loop, man, it came down right around McNeil Island, which is right about where I went. So I don't want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to take a break here in a little bit, people, just for a minute. And I'm going to go get some cafe, or some tea anyway. A matter of fact, I think she's brewing some go-go juice, some juju. Me love you long time juice. Just kidding. Like I said, I let nature take its course. Like I said, if you get in there, and like Mr. L said, you start banking. That's no the Lord, and plus it's all being recorded. Come on, people. Now, between a husband and a wife, especially in this day and age, I'm thinking that's not going to be frowned upon. But when you're just looking at pornography, and you're defiling yourself, the Lord first, you're offending, you're defiling the marriage bed with, it's the same thing. You're not just but that, like I said, that's a little gray area. I already know, as a person thinketh. So you have to be really, really careful. Like I said, the intent, and if you believe that your wife is and I'm not talking a delusion. I'm talking about something that's measurable, that you can prove, or you're one of two things. They said, you know. He says, well, a house divided against itself can't stand. Correct. So here goes into the swine flu. We're back to the swine flu again. Meyer didn't even try that. Oh, fucking Meyer, people. It's not about religion, but it is about the word. And it's about being in the spirit. And that's all you got to do. Just, you people are already doing it. Listen to Tori. Did you hear that? She sounds amazing. And I know, sweetheart, you'll get tongue tied and twisted sometimes. That's okay, baby girl. And I apologize. I should not. I meant it in a good way. I don't let anybody call me baby, and I didn't mean it like that. I apologize, Millie. But don't worry about that. We all get tongue tied and twisted. Such an earthbound misfit. That's a good one. Oh man, I'm just right in there. It's almost like the fly to Icarus, but in a good way. Just you notice how before he jumped off, he only had a couple right here, and then there was that eagle feather, or so it seemed. There it was, seamless. Um, don't worry, Tori. Don't worry. Do you know that's my ex's? She's living in that house by Stanley Seafort. Is it? Is that? Is that dog outside? Somebody let him in, will ya? Cecilia, let Jackson in, please. Uh, Tori. Tori Sue is her name. Seriously, her name's Tori Sue, and then she has another little sister. Well, they're not little anymore; they're young adults. The mother is the one that was at Kmart when I told the pedophile that was going to try to steal Hadley. No, she's with me. That I didn't even read him. I read the salesman that she was at the jewelry counter. That was she was actually was given no indication, but I was literally reading her, and she was doing her job and doing it well, and also being concerned because she was reading that this guy was it was amazing. So there's those gift and talents. I was like, what's going on here? What's happening here? And then I went, oh, I see. Yeah, she's with me. And then the lady went, oh, like, is that? Oh yeah, that's my dad. Oh, okay, yeah, because that. And then he was gone, and then it all unfolded. It was all come out. Remember, I said Dina was there. Well, anyway, I went all there to say that because Tori. So don't worry, be happy. We get tongue tied all the time, man. Just like, just like, uh, just like Sheila. We get like that all the time. Cares about how we damn look at, and we look fine when we're in the spirit anyway, and we sound just great. The Lord's restoring all the locusts of Eden. I mean, for the love of God, look how old some of us are, and you'd never know. You'd never know we were that old for a reason. It's not, we're not, we're all getting new bodies anyway. And I'm broken up, man. It's the grace of the good Lord, man, that I don't have any broken bones. Honestly, it really is. I can't believe my head isn't completely in pieces like Humpty Dumpty. Because yeah, we're getting all the gold back. We're getting all of it. It's all ours anyway. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? You gonna keister it? That was rude. I shouldn't have said that. What are you gonna do? Swallow it? You're gonna throw it into the sea, into the ocean, like the Hope Diamond, the the heart of the sea. Is that what you're gonna do? You see, I wanted to say one day, I wanted to say to her, I knew you weren't gonna jump. I knew it. No, you were having an issue more than just yeah. And does it irritate me? Yes. Does it anger me? Absolutely. But my love for you and my concern for your feelings about how I uh, uh, want to spend my life with you is important. So I will do what it takes to eat some crow sometimes. But I'm not going to be like old Frosty, uh, and I'm not going to be skinned out and used as a damn rug either. But I'll let you kick me around and put me on a chain once in a while. I'm just metaphorically speaking. I will do anything for you. But yeah, that Frosty thing where we used to feed him, and he would loved people. That dog, he loved people, and he was a wolf. He was a timber wolf. He was a big dog, and he used to pull these rocks that were so big out of Hicks Lake, and that's crazy because they used to do that right down the road, and thousands of people in the projects they'd come and kind of like the court system. Next, big round circles on their arms. I don't have them. I don't. I didn't. I only got a few, but you can see it in certain. Some people are like, "Oh, you're out of your mind, dude. That's not." And I'm like, "No, you." And then, but then they start seeing confirmation. They're like, "Wow, man. Hey, yeah, you won't believe this. You were right. Yeah, yep, that's right. That actually happened. Right when you said it would. That's the craziest thing." And I went, "Wow, that is crazy." The Lord said, "Yeah, no, you just be humble and just tell them, well, I love you, and I'll go ahead. Do you need me to come down? Okay, all right, just like that. That's love right there. That's respect. That's love, and that's respect. But then again, that doesn't mean that I would necessarily, like I said, if I had an issue with it with sex, or let's say women, like most of us men do because we're men. I wouldn't go to Deja Vu down here and start telling my testimony while they were at work. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be doing that. So just like going down to Portland when I missed my bus, an old buddy of mine, real estate buddy of mine, I got to call him. A matter of fact, Rick, he's a real estate inspector. Well, he was an agent, inspector. He was all kinds of stuff, but now he he's healing now. He's an older guy. He fell off. Yeah, he fell off his bike. He fell off his ladder inspecting a roof a few months back, and he's an older guy and probably not in the best of shape. Eats a lot of Denny's. Takes a lot of clients to Denny's. But anyway, I said all that to say that his daughter married a fella, Eric, that come down and got me when I missed that bus to go to the Patriot rally, where Antifa and the everybody was all there to support you know patriotism and Trump and all that stuff. Um, there at Riverside Park, and Owen Schroyer was there, and I wanted to come down so that I could meet him for Millie, and then there was the other dude that was a guest. I forgot his. I had it. It just came. It just came. It just came because I seen his face, and it came. The guy with the weed that went to jail for the weed. I just had it. I gave him a hug. Came right out of nowhere, poof, and then he just kind of got it when he realized who I was. Oh, I just had his name twice too. Um, I think it's an A. Alec. Anyway, and then went over and seen Kelly, uh, my ex's mom's brother, who is a major supporter, and he's got. Anyway, seen him, gave him a hug, and he's people they get bugged out. They're like, oh man, they're following us here and stuff, and I'm just like, dude. But yeah, they're always following. Well, Usually, some of us are all, but it don't matter because they're just like, well, shit. Now we're following, and it's been completely turned around. It's kind of a joke, but so I missed the bus, and this is why I'm going here with this whole going in with a team, a prayer team, places like now Portland, and how it's what has had become and been like for years. But yeah, I ended up missing my bus. My buddy down here, he gives me a ride. Alonzo, my old Vietnam buddy here, gives me a ride. He's heading over to get some watermelons. That's when I ended up took a picture. I think you said you need a towel. I don't usually do that, but I wanted to see if you were going to respond, and you did. I was like, all right, sweetheart. Well, shit. Well, we're on to something now. You know, we ain't going to go with that pizza delivery if that was you. And I'm sure it was. Okay. And then the Jessica, and come on. And it's not guilt because that's where the story is thinking. It's just part of it. So he gives me a ride down to catch the bus down to the rally. And then he's going to go over and get a load of watermelons and some fruit from his buddy. Because, his dad, he was raised like that and raising fruit and pigs. And he drops me off, and the bus it was leaving as I'm pulling up. It's leaving, but you can't tell this old man to hurry up, and you're late. And this bus it's got to get there on time, so it's leaving on time from downtown Tacoma, right by the Roca factory. So, 1 minute and 22 seconds, huh? Or 20? I mean, an hour 22:20. Um. So, and then I'm gonna end up getting some coffee. I'm gonna take a quick break. So anyway, I missed the bus, and I call Rick, my real estate buddy, because he lives the closest. Well, actually, her dad does. The Tawana's dad lives right up on 38, right by 38th, by Stanley Seafort, where Tori's at with her new baby and her other little sister. It slipped my mind, but it's not important. It's just I try to be when I go there. I try to be because I want you to be part of it. That's how thorough I am because I care about you guys. That's why last night I made that little video when I came back from my brother's because I didn't want you to stress, baby. I just knew you were, but not just yesterday. It's been, you've been doing that a lot. You just act, sweetie, so we can get this a rolling. So I can hold you and hug you and kiss you anytime I want or not. Just and then we'll just be doing what we do, what we're doing, been doing. Just not in a it'll just be I love you, and I mean love you instead of I. I'll just try to stop until I actually do fall in love with somebody else. If that happens, and I'm praying that won't. So I'm gonna quit talking about that. So I just want you to feel comfortable with whatever. If you have to slap me up with kick rocks, because I'm big enough for you to have to, if you have to do what you got to do, because I love you. I love myself enough, us and all of us. I respect you. I'm not going to ever lie to you or none of that stuff, no matter what. That win, lose, or draw. And I started thinking today in the tub, draw, that's when you draw a straw. It doesn't mean when you stalemate, ding dong. Well, why did you say it? Well, that's something that it's kind of like, when your parents were talking pigland. I don't know if you guys know what that is. My grandma and mom used to do it all the time, and I knew they were taking us out to eat. Because we always went to eat, but I started figuring out what they were saying. It's just, I guess it's a habit, I guess is what I'm saying. Get into a habit. saying kid or just, me with planet or something like that. And even if it is, like I said, as long as you're not selling the elongated crap as your god or as your lost uh, brethren or sisterin. Oh yeah, sure, yeah, baby. So I call Rick, and he says, "Well, here, my daughter's husband, Eric, or not her husband. He's the one. I told you that him and I started to to get to be kind of close friends. He ended up, like I said, he started doing the bounty hunter. He was in the military in I think Desert Storm. Anyway, so he comes down and gets me, uh, takes me to the rally. That's like I said, I'm not the one that greased that pole. That's why I said I would never go down there without a not that I don't trust myself. That's not it at all. But I wouldn't put myself through that at all. I'd literally have to walk with my eyes. I couldn't go to any of those establishments, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. And I said, "Are you serious, man? I came down here for something else." But you know the amazing thing about it is, I ended up getting to the Lord wanted me to deal with that Antifa guy that smacked that poor person in the head with his skateboard. I took a picture of that. That was that, and those cops were across the street. Except they just turned their head just enough. I could have, but the Lord said, "No, but this is all just another confirmation for people when they look back. They're gonna go, wow, man, that did happen. Look, that's him right there. That is the guy." Because it wasn't until later that I went, you know what? That's that guy. And the Lord said, yes, it is. That is that guy. Do you see how? Because we were looking for a spot, and I was like, man, I got to get in here. I got to hurry up. I got to find Owen. And when I sat next to that guy that was all geared up in the like the hockey garb and all the gear for the goalie and catchers protection gear, all the ump stuff. A lot of people were like that, and this guy, he was actually looked pretty good, for they were ready for battle. Of course, I was praying left and right, praying that the Lord would you know and there was angels right there. Those cops, they were here. They weren't going to do anything anyway. They were just right here. They were for looks. And the Antifa right here, they wanted to start some stuff, but what it was is that there was angels right in the middle of that road right there. Because here's really, if you want to know the reality of it, it honestly was when I because that lady that came over and gave me a hug, it wasn't nothing sexual at all, sweetie, none of that. But I said, "Oh, well, I'm a hugger," and so she gave me a hug, and when she hugged me and I hugged her, she knew that hug was real and it had nothing to do with nothing. And she went back and told somebody something that guy's here for us. But I'm not, and I'm here for all of us because the Lord first loved me, so He first loved us, and we're all one. So so what it was really is that do you know the warring angels and the fallen were whispering into these kids' ear? Do you know that they would have never stood a chance? But not that it should make anybody gloat that was there that day, because it was actually pretty sad. But they would have not had a chance if they would have even. It would not have been that wouldn't have been good. And so the prayers were all being followed up and followed through by angelic intervention right there in the middle of that street. and those fallen were not they weren't, and they actually called off because they want to use those little Antifa for little chicken shit stuff. Excuse my language. Uh, because that's what it is. Block, 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 block. When I get blocked and I say that's a real chicken sit move, and I just put SH, uh, and then the you know what I'm saying, and then the it, because I'm really trying to clean up my language. I don't really like the, it's not proper. But so yeah, and then all the and the bumblebee thing. I was like, hey man, are you serious? So he was going to, and I'm not trying to. I went for the steak and the potato, $5 to get you in there to spend money on all the the stuff that is causing people to completely be desensitized and rot their minds of any hopes of seeking refuge in the company of the Holy Spirit. Because can you imagine what that's why the Lord has that's why there's a buffer zone, just like the when you're they always got to separate yourself from because that he's not going to be looking at that kind of stuff. It's all being recorded though, and there are angels that are constantly reporting, and oh, believe me, you can step down into it anytime. But and it's not that he hasn't seen that all before, but it's just not. You got to remember, it's so love is so true, honest, and righteous that that is just an abomination. And so it's just, it hurts him so bad that you people don't even. So anyway, but you will. One establishment, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait out. I went and ate my steak and my potato. I just kept my head down, and because I wasn't gonna sit in that damn hot ass truck. So I did go in because that was my only ride. That was my only ride, and Kelly, they were all staying there. Well, I was led to go there, pray. Owen wasn't around. The Lord said, "No, I want you to go. You pray over this crowd. We're gonna, we're gonna battle here angelically. You go see the little Antifa deal. Do what you got to do. You and Eric go." So, like I said, ate my, and then he wanted to go to another establishment. I said, "Well, this time I'm staying in the truck." Of course, that only lasted for a minute, and I just literally just said, "Come on, man, we have got to go." My point is that wall? The people they well, he's from Oregon. No, no, I'm not. But I've been to Oregon many times. I live here in Washington State, so of course I've been to Oregon and especially Portland. But um, and even have been fishing on the Columbia for sturgeon. I'm telling you, smoked sturgeon. Even though they're suckers, and I probably really second question if I could get around eating something else. But those sturgeon, smoked sturgeon. Ooh man, dude, I've had canned smoked sturgeon that's so good. It's just like some of the. It's just amazing. I enjoy it anyway. But then I'm a fish person. Um, so still got some from last night. Anyway, so that B wall, just right there at one of those little stripper deals right there. I ended up going, I'm gonna walk down the street. I'm just gonna walk. There it was. That B right there. So the Lord said, see, I can take anything and just turn it around. So it's all good. So don't we're gonna take that. I got you down here. It's all good. And you're exercising some self-control, and it was all well. Well, anyway, that guy, I might as well just tell you this now. He and her ended up getting in an argument. I think I brushed over this. I was gonna wait, and I might as well tell you this now because I'm already on it. And then I'll go down to some other things that I jotted down. I'll get back to Frosty the Frosty the wolf, Frosty the tiger. They're great, right? Um, him and her got into an argument. He calls the police, and I actually think she assaulted him, but the police take him away. He's ex-military, fought combat duty, I believe in, like I said, Desert Storm. He's a young guy, but Iraq somewhere, something theater, some kind of skirmish that was recent. And I don't keep up with a lot of that crap. I really don't. Just, but I do like history and stuff. I just, I have so much to learn, and I'm willing. But anyway, so he goes to jail. This happened not long after we ended up. He brought me back, and I paid for all his gas and everything. Which is fine. I had to eat that ticket, and I was gonna just take the bus down and then ride back with Kelly or somebody, because I knew there'd be a bunch of people that I would just be able to get a ride with, no problem. But then I'd be able to meet Owen and sit down and actually talk to him and let him actually meet me so that he could see that I'm an actual person and not some Q-tip or some assassin or ninja or somebody that's going to hurt Millie or some fucking freak that, oh, did I just say that? That they, tried brainwashing my beloved little rainbow into believing that I could never be, because she knows now exactly what the skinny is on this deal. Yeah, real thin. Real thin. So, the cops come take him to jail. He had already been doing some work in picking up some subcontracting jobs from bail bonds. I think CJ might be one who knows our family quite well. CJ bail bonds from Tacoma. And he was, scooting and booting and getting people, and he was sticking his AR through people's screen doors, and he was apprehending and making money. Young guy, real meek. You would never believe that he would do that, but that's he was doing it. And he had just he'd been doing it for quite a little while. Maybe but not quite a year, but and obviously doing well. Well, anyway, he goes to jail. Ex-combat soldier. He's a bounty hunter. He's got more, uh, in some twisted kind of ways, kind of like game wardens do. Just it's kind of weird on how it's real twisted. Is now all of it is being stripped from him. He can't even go pick up his pistol, that little Sig Sauer that he had on, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna throw this." And I go, "Well, dude, you need to really lock this up where no one's gonna." You're idiot. Those Sigs, those are pretty nice little Springfield. Those XDSs, those are nice. Those 45s, even women, you guys would be able to nip 60 yards, not a problem. Excellent recoil recovery. You'd be able to mobilize anybody with body armor on, enough to go ahead and neutralize the situation if that was the case, or at least just have them zip tied up. So, old, Daddy Lion can come in and toy with it for a while. I'm just messing around. So anyway, can't get none of his guns out of Hawk now. Okay. He's got all this stuff. He's now got it. It's a mess. It's a mess. As a matter of fact, I just spoke to, they ended up getting married. And, they learned their lesson about the court system. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to try to get their testimony. But yeah, I knew him and his daughters, both of them. I used to sell him Native American stuff long time ago at the flea market. On his off time, he would pick He would go and pick. We'd all a lot of us were pickers on our spare time. We'd go pick, and then you'd get stuff, and I would pick and enjoy the stuff. I'd look at it, enjoy it, and then I'd sell it after I got done. I don't like hoarding nothing. I don't care how valuable or how rare it is. It don't bother me. If somebody's just if s- what really spins my bearing, what really gets me going is when somebody really appreciates something as much as I do. I want, so just like that little boy says, "Mister, you're the nicest mister here." Well, we had already we were gaining relationship already. Trust was being established, and that's forever. Those smiles that you give people with your eyes, whether you think it or not, whether they're returning them or not, it's the response to the responses. And just like the room that exceeds the former, they're all being recorded. Every single one. Don't think for a minute they're not. So anyway, I'm getting off track. So let's see, where are we? Where oh yeah, so yeah, he's probably still, I don't know, but I just taught, like I said, I got to call Rick. He fell off that ladder, and but usually that's all he does now is he just inspects. He just does inspections now for people when they. He's just a real estate. Nice guy, older guy. Like I said, I've been, and we've learned a lot from each other. There's a lot of reproductions and stuff. People are getting real crafty at reproduce. People are getting real crafty. They can, if you don't, and even some of the finest, some of the most educated uh people in, like I said, Lee and Leslie Kino. There's a reason why they're in that certain area of furniture. Same with Native American stuff. For a while, there's a lot of fake stuff going around. Still is, but me and Rick both, we got educated. Sometimes it cost, you know, because you don't want to let a good deal pass up. I mean, I used to have fat, at least six, seven, $800 in my pocket at all times in case I seen something I needed to really step up on. I mean, a lot of people might say, "Well, that's not a lot of money," and some people might say, "Well, that's a lot of money." Either way, I loved to stack my cash. I was a cash stacker. I didn't like to break bills at all. It hurt in my hat. I didn't like doing it. I don't know why. I just didn't. But then it would be nothing for me to help someone else out. You know what? I'm gonna pause this for a minute. I got 2 hours right now. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna make some tea. I'm gonna shut this drape, and then I love you guys. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. You guys might have heard me hacking, and if you did, it was not like the hack and sack bulls that were on Home Alone. All that was that John Candy? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, apologize. I got some coffee. Yes, I did. And I've been accused of getting a foul attitude while drinking this stuff. So just, I apologize beforehand. Pardon me. I'm not even going to say Sharona. Right? I come up with that one. I come up with a lot of them. But who's counting, right? Damn, I'm serious, man. Somebody, gargoyle, hurry up. After a while, you just go, all right. You can't even do that. So, well, beloved, guess what? Guess what? Do you know what? No, but I know where, when, and why. Okay, so where are we? Okay, White Wolf. Yeah, we're at White Wolf. So let me cross this stuff off so we can cross that slope when we get there. So yeah, that's why I say I wouldn't be going and they're trying to do that to all cities, make them like Portland. That's why I pray and I got June in my. There's a reason. Why target focus. Pardon me. Why target focus these places because they're just filth holes, a cesspool. They're our beloved children, and yes, they're up to no good, but they're the ones that we pray and ask the Lord to forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, they have to personally do the forgiveness, but they're the ones that aren't, literally, they're partaking in evil stuff, but they're not the spawn of the enemy themselves. They're not demons with human skin stretched over them at this point, at least most of them. They're just lost in the applesauce. So that's why we've been given, because he was coming to clean it. It was just a stench. He's coming to clean it all up. But like I said, for a lack of just a better, so we can move on, it would have been a small catering. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention I did work for a catering service also when I was in Maine, and it was a lady that started her own catering service and did quite well. We had our own little bar that we set up wherever's at with weddings or whatever. It was pretty. I made pretty good money. Most everything, believe it or not, was already in boxes, and we made our own sushi. That's why I know about the nori and the. Excuse me, pardon me. That's why I know about the nori and the bamboo rolls and the little mat you roll it up in and stuff. Because I've had to make many rolls, and then I would make it at home with the vinegar and the rice and stuff like that. So let's see. There's something else I wanted to brush over to mention. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, airport. Children are waking up, and I'm getting some allergies or something because uh, it's kind of the wrong time of year, but maybe it is. No, the airport. That's right, in YouTube. Now, when I watch that video, I really enjoy YouTube, and I'm pleased. Not that it really matters that they were they were given the award for, they were elected into the Hall of Fame, the music. If I'm understanding that correctly, I could be completely wrong, but awesome. And a lot of people, artists that have been, kind of unsung hero type, but they're one that actually didn't get kicked down into the crevasse of, you know the Luciferian. Pardon me. I'm gonna just real quick. I'm gonna. I apologize. There was a little bit of the baby was crying and walking by, and I blew my schnoz and took advantage of the everything going on so I could try to get back on track. Of course, they're yelling, so I might have to pause this again. Yelling at the boy. Uh, so let's see. Oh, airport and YouTube. When I see that video where they're on the right on the runway, that's got to be exhilarating, and it is. I got a story for you, and I'm not advocating at all drugs, but remember the story I told about when I first got my license and sat in that big Plymouth Fury 3 in Des Moines, in our home in Des Moines, who's now owned by Nita's, my Aunt Arlene's daughter. Um, and I sat in that thing. Remember when I went off and ended up driving that big boat back all high on, well, that same stuff, that that window pane, that acid that happened to be going around in Gutenberg, just a lot of acid back then, and it was, well, let's just say it wasn't the stuff that you might find at a at a parking ride somewhere. Um, so we would be in living so close to living so close to the airport. I used to fish those ponds that are still down there. You might be able to even see them from the Google Earth. Um, but I used to fish down there, and also collect morel mushrooms, and you had to climb the fence. It's a Thai golf course. It's an actual little golf course. And back in the days, um, we used to go in, sneak in the fence, and go fishing monster bass, because there were bullfrogs in there that were, the tadpoles were, they were huge. They were the size of little lures themselves, and we used to catch, just when it would rain in the rainy season. Sometimes the ponds would overflow, and then the little water traps that are scattered throughout the golf course, along with a waterway, a creek, was loaded with fish, bass, huge bass that were that were feeding on these monster tadpoles, these huge bullfrog tadpoles that are just they're the those are the not the frogs. These are huge You know, people eat these. I don't never got into eating their legs because they eat bugs. You know, I just not we're never into it. But they're monsters. My point of saying all that is when it rains, that all those fish that are eating those monster tadpoles are being washed. They're using the flood as a vehicle to get to another part of the course. So there's fish all over, and people don't know this. We also used to get the balls. We would collect balls and sell them back to the golfers. And if I would have known now what if I would have known then what I know now, I would have I would have started snorkeling that, but we were already not supposed to be in there. And so it just took okay, false alarm. So we already had been sneaking in there, so we it was just a matter of time um before you'd get one of them golfers that either knew that these kids shouldn't be in there or just thought maybe we shouldn't be. And by the time they made their rounds, because there was no cell phones back then, they'd say something and it would take time for them to come down and find us and tell us to get out, and all that. We went through all that, but sometimes nobody would say anything. They'd be, hey, what are you doing? Oh, we're fishing, there's fish in here. Yeah. Wham, you end up catching a big 3 4 5 pound big mouth bass, or just a monster slab of a crappie or bluegill or something. They're like, what? And you almost didn't want to catch them with them guys watching, because they'd be down there with their they'd they'd be turning in their dang golf clubs for a rod and reel. I love the old Fenwicks. Oh man, I used to have a really nice Fenwick that was a tribute. It was a 1976 1776 tribute. It was from the factory. I bought it in a guy didn't know it. He had a whole bunch of pulls he had gotten probably out of it somewhere. I don't know, I think a storage unit, but he didn't. It had the guy's serial number, and it was a blank that he obviously either he worked at the factory, because you could tell that where it was Fenwick and then just the regular yellow custom, glass rod. The old Fenwick. It wasn't a black one. Boy, I'm still looking for. I had a black Fenwick, but not those old black ones from Japan, man. Whew, those ones can be worth a lot, but this one was the yellow, and it had red, white, and blue the the guides for the guides tied with the line to hold the guide fastener line. It was a nice, and it actually had. This is how naive the guy was. Trusting, serious, true story. Of course, I'm ain't gonna lie to you. Had his serial number in the spot where you fasten the little coupler that holds the reel to the rod, and I got paid. I used to use that along with that contact printer, just to leave that out, just to bring people along with a few other things that weren't for sale. And it irked some people off. They're like, well, you always have this out here, why isn't it for sale? I said, so it'll bring people here, and that's why it says not for sale, don't touch, please, because and it did too. But anyway, So back to the where now that I got off track, and I'm gonna have to um oh the airport. We used to, let's just say, uh pick more than just the morels and that stuff that my cousin put on my tongue, that vitamin A, and watch, because right there at that golf course, which now there's score, and I can tell there's some real weird satanic shit that used to happen in the woods there. Found some weird stuff. Well, anyway, now the government's got a they've got a uh, they got a federal joint right there holding deal, and then score. Well, anyway, way before all that, right there on that hill, we used to go in right along the side, and the 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 airstrip is right there at that golf course. That's where it was. They hadn't had the the other addition to the airport yet. Pardon me. Maybe I am getting a cold, but there hadn't been the because they ended up buying out some of my family. Like I said, they lived down in there too, and Chucky and all that, the little old weirdo. But I gotta be careful what I say, because I don't have permission to, even if it is true, I gotta be cautious. So we would sit right there, and that strip would come right to the hill, and that hill, there was nothing there to separate except a tiny little fence, because they didn't expect the golfers, they would be, you know but these planes were so, and the golfers, some of them, they didn't like to go to that hole. Some of them would skip it altogether because it freaked them out, because these planes, man, just like, and that's something, because I was going to go to this story too, and then the Lord, there was that U2 deal that I've seen before, but uh it was really pertinent today, and I was like, oh yeah, and he's like, uh-huh, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, well, this is just, isn't it, don't you just love being it? And so that's why when I say, God, I'm so happy, I'm so excited for us, I really mean that, because it's just every second of every day he's letting me know, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right track, this is real. We'd lay there, and these planes, man, they'd come in, people, whew. And when you're, let me try to stabilize that just real quick. I'm trying to, that's why I got this plant here. I wasn't trying to take a picture of it like a little florist or something. I rescued this little plant, and then I did take a picture of because I like that my screen, when I pop it up, sometimes it just has different things. Of course, the one day there was a bunch of sheep being let out of a gate. And then there was that rock deal that kind of reminds me of, like, way down in Arizona, like the Pueblo or something. Pretty neat. Some of them cave dwellers. Can you imagine? Whew, getting up there like that and building all that. Anyway, so we would sit there, and those planes would come in, and man, they would just rattle the crap out of you. Let's see how much. Okay, so we got 2 hours 11 minutes, so we're good. I'm gonna try to keep it right at 3. And so yeah, that was crazy. And here's the other thing that I just realized too. My ex's. Remember I was talking about Tori Sue. Well, the mother of Tori, Dina, the one that worked at retired from the Kmart and there on Portland. Uh, her mom lives right, had a house even when I was a kid. Dina's a little bit older than I am, I think, not much. So we had crossed paths many times, didn't even know it. She grew up right there by that golf course, Tyee Golf Course. Serious. That just came to mind right now when I'm sitting here telling you this story. It's just, and I told you about Tori Sue. Tori Sue and Caitlin. That's her sister's name, Caitlin. Known him since they were just little. Yeah, I do, a grasshopper. Now that's on her dad's. Her dad went and remarried, but has Tawana Tisha, and then that's basically. So okay, so let's see. Let me move. Let me go ahead and move right on down. I'm going to cross this off, and so the airport thing, just little things that I was led to jot down, and then so a matter of fact, you know something. I'm almost to back to RJC, the God Pod, Bob Falk, Skiba, Mike Skiba, not Rob. Union Gospel Mission, Skiba, Lewis. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. So I'm gonna cut this a little short. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it a little short. And I love you guys. And I will reconvene tomorrow because, like I said, once I get rolling on this, I need to focus on it, and I felt it was important to cover a few things today as things arise. Like life on life's terms. And I'm really proud of whoever it was that said they had to get sober again or something. It was 3 weeks or whatever. Well, hey, you know what? Just just make the next right decision. That's what you got to do. And remember about that. You just do the right thing. All right, love you guys. Have a good day and God bless. And yeah, it's just awesome today, Tori. Awesome. It's just awesome. It's all you guys are always awesome. Always. It's amazing to watch us all grow, and you can hear it too, like he said. You can see it, you can hear it. It's exciting. I'm honored, really. Love you guys. Have a good night.